O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all our sons' command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Congratulations to the class of 2020. More than any other class in recent history, the class of 2020 has faced unprecedented challenges. Each of you has worked diligently to complete your studies online so that you could graduate and move on to the next phase of your life. You stepped up and you did your part during the pandemic, and as a result, helped to keep our communities safe. While I regret that you were unable to celebrate with your friends, the staff of SD 73 are so proud of your willingness to do what it takes to earn your dogwood while considering the health and wellness of your friends and your family. I want you to remember, too, that you were also the first graduates of the new BC curriculum, which will set a strong foundation for post-secondary study in the trades, in the arts, and in sciences. While some of you will go to university, others may choose to enter the world of work or to travel across the nation. Whatever your path, your commitment to hard work and excellence in the face of challenges will hold you in good stead. You may be the most flexible, resilient, and independent students to graduate from SD 73. And consequently, I believe you are ready to embrace whatever the world brings your way. I know I'm not alone when I say how proud we are of you. May the years ahead be filled with happiness and kindness. Cookschum.
It gives me great pleasure to be able to congratulate the NorKam Senior Secondary graduates of 2020 on behalf of the Board of Education. Graduation is a significant achievement. Your perseverance and dedication to your studies is evident in your success. It is no small feat, as it represents years of effort and dedication. Nor is this something that you have achieved in isolation, as you have had multitudes of teachers, parents, fellow students, and other caring adults and friends who have assisted you in your journey. While these past few months have been challenging, keep in mind that your journey over the past 12 years has included incredible moments with your friends, teachers, and family. These memories will form the foundation of lifelong friendships. You are soon on to a new challenge beyond the familiar walls of your school. Some of you have, in fact, already started the next step and have begun the transition from school to the world of employment. Many of you are preparing to move to new cities and new schools where you will pursue your dreams of higher education. For all of you, it's a new start as you move from the sheltering walls of high school into new places, experiences, and environments. While the next few months and years may seem a daunting challenge, the education and experiences that you have already achieved will serve as a solid foundation to begin building your adult life. We wish you all the best in your future endeavors. We are very proud of you. Congratulations.
Hello graduates, parents, and family members. Congratulations on reaching the milestone of graduation. We recognize these 2020 celebrations are being held on the traditional lands of the Secwepemc territory. Thank you to our teachers, support staff, coaches, club and community leaders who have guided you along the way. To Mrs. Perry, Mrs. Stewart, Mrs. Fowles, Mrs. Vivente, and Mrs. Kirchner, They had the colossal task of putting this graduation ceremony on, and we thank them. I also want to give a shout out to Mrs. Ranke and Mrs. Collins, for they ensured that all the scholarship and awards were able to be dispersed on your day. Graduation is meant to be a big deal. Graduation from high school is a monumental task. It recognizes the successful completion of 13 years of your journey. It's a difficult trip to accomplish under normal circumstances. So much can happen over 13 years. Some of you may have had personal illness, or a parent or loved ones with personal illness. Some of you had had personal struggles, parents losing jobs, elementary schools burning down, or even housing a school within a school. And just when we thought we had dealt with all of those issues, the world hit us with a pandemic. In spite of this, many of you continued to make progress. As a graduating class, you have earned over $220,000 in scholarship and bursary money. This total will continue to grow over the coming weeks, but it is a great example of your ability to adapt to the continuous challenges the world is throwing at us. Having you sit in front of me would have been a traditional or standard way to complete your high school education career. But your class really doesn't know what standard is. So this type of ceremony really fits your graduation class. Don't let the type of ceremony diminish the significance of your accomplishments. Enjoy your achievements. Celebrate it in unique ways with your family and friends. You and your family have a number of reasons to celebrate. First, you don't have to listen to long speeches that make no sense. For this speech, you can simply fast forward me. This is an opportunity you have all waited for. If only you could have fast forwarded me for the past 3 years. Second, you don't need to wait for all your classmates to walk the stage. You're able to skip through and see the people you want. But the best thing about this graduation during a world pandemic is that you still met your requirements to graduate. You completed 13 years of public education through difficult times, good times, uncertain times, and worrisome times. You were able to adjust and adapt and stay focused on your goal of completing your formal high school education. So what does this mean now? Many of you will begin to make plans to transition to adulthood. Some of you have already begun this. Transitioning to the next phase of your life under normal circumstances is difficult. You are entering into a world that faces more extensive challenges than any other. How will you face these challenges? You may be attending training or post-secondary learning, entering the workforce, or maybe even traveling when you're able to do so again. Whatever this looks like and whatever you take on, I encourage you to be a positive, contributing member to our society. Whether that be volunteering, working for charities or churches, or some type of agency that supports less fortunate people, give back to the community you live in. Graduates of 2020, we need global citizens now more than ever while we face this changing world. We need you to be agile and adaptable. We need you to be thinkers, people who find unique solutions to unique problems. I think during the past 3 months, we have observed world leaders who have been exemplary at this, and some who have not. You have already proven capable of doing this by graduating. I believe the world is ready for you, and you are ready for this crazy world. Good luck, take a chance, and be brave. We are proud to call you our alumni.
Fellow graduates, over the last 3 years at NorKam, we've learned a lot. First, Pendy taught us about Trump every class, and not a single thing Trump did went unnoticed. Then, we have Mr. Morgan reminding us that we have no friends, only neighbors during tests. Or how it wasn't a regular French class with cabs unless she was trying to recruit all her students to play rugby. Finally, we learned we could not sit more than 8 to a table at the library.
As much as some of us would hope, and others would be reluctant to admit, we aren't quite grown up yet, but sure as heck a lot closer to adulthood. The sense of community we endorsed here at NorKam, in many aspects, is like none other. As the school that takes in the most international students in the district, I am personally astounded to see how welcomed each and every one of them were at this school. And as much as we am impacted in school, we also had a variety of impacts outside. Club sports, most definitely. Volunteering, of course. Part-time work, yeah. Although it might be hard to get a job at Wendy's right now.
Coming to school on that very first day in grade 10, we did not know how much money we were going to waste at Dawn's, especially senior year when everyone got cars, or how it was almost impossible to get to your locker without getting hit by a rugby ball. None of us knew that we would befriend our daytime janitor, Al, who knew almost every kid's name and how their weekend went. And lastly, we didn't know what amazing memories we were going to make at NorKam that will stick with us forever. We would also like to acknowledge 2 people that couldn't be here with us today making those memories. In the summer of 2019, we lost 2 incredible people, Caleb and Sydney. They graduated from NorKam last year, but touched many hearts in our grade. Caleb and Sydney were the type of people to make you smile at any time, and they'll forever be remembered and loved.
This year, obviously, didn't go exactly as planned. And our heart goes out to all the other graduates around the world who are on track to an accomplishment that was derailed by the COVID-19 crisis. Although, as many of the IB students were relieved, their exams were canceled. We aren't exactly getting the traditional graduation, commencements, honors, and award ceremonies, just like most of us did in grade 6. Yet, feeling a part of a bigger picture is a drive for many of us to further pursue goals. You may feel a little cheated, but why dwell? This is a way for us to set our sights on the future and decide how we will better structure the world as we know it. And it's okay to not have a plan for life yet. Some of us feel like we aren't ready to establish long-term goals because the only rush comes from societal pressure, and it's also scary weird to think that all our goofy friends are actually becoming adults now. Now we get to choose together what we are learning about, and even better, what environment we're learning in. An optimistic outlook and a mindset to focus on what you want to accomplish is sometimes all you need. Although, if you tell yourself or others that you're going to do something, make sure to follow through. Stand by what you say. We now have more cause to set our minds to the act of outlining the individual we want to become and work towards becoming them.
The real world is a lot different than high school, and we're going to make mistakes along the way. There are going to be times when we feel like we have hit rock bottom, but it is these times when we need to shine. Those mistakes and failures are just redirection to something better, and they end up being our best tool in life. The NorKam grad class of 2020 is going to go on and leave a mark in this world. We are a class full of inspired, unique, skillful, and uplifting people, and we won't just fade out. We will make an unbelievable impression on the workforce, on Kamloops, and on the rest of the world.
Our accomplishments in life are now entirely up to us, albeit with many unknowns in the world. Presently, we must practice continual perseverance in our pursuits through the unprecedented times and leave our mark, positively impacting the world. Everyone will be challenging themselves in their own ways, entirely independent of each other. And there is no one strategy to find a sense of meaning in the coming years. Respect yourself enough to value what you have come to care about, and make this life a wonderful adventure. We are proud to be part of the NorKam 2020 graduating class. Now this is our time, our moment for new beginnings.
So on behalf of NorKam Senior Secondary, congratulations on being the valedictorians for 2020. This is just a small token of our appreciation for the work and job that you've done. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Don't drop on their flags.
Okay.